I've been a better wife, a better mom, a better daughter, a better friend. I'm no longer hiding who I am. And if people don't like me, don't care. Before all this happened, I was told by my doctor to never have kids again, which I love kids and I'd love to have more. A couple of years ago, we had several businesses, one of which was taken out during COVID, and life just got hard. Anger seeped in ways that I didn't know. I was angry all the time, and I let anger come out over my kids, over my husband, everything. And that's not who I wanted to be.
What's up, everybody? Casey here from CaseyShip.com and Hotmomz. And today, one of our very successful clients, Allison DeVine, is joining us to talk about how they went from self-sacrificing, angry, on edge, everything on the rocks, living in chaos, mom life, to finding yourself and bringing in compassion and actually pulling the family together like never before. And there's no more anger. So thanks for coming on, Allison.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm super glad you're here and that you'll share your story, because there's somebody out there, there's a lot of people out there that's going to just totally connect with you. I just know it. And she actually took a lot of really cool photos of me back in the day. It was the time I didn't know I was pregnant, the one I lost before my second one. And she came in, and a lot of the pictures y'all see on Booty Blitz, me on an ad right now, I'm like bending down, giving my kid a bottle, like Allison took all those photos. So thank you. Isn't that cool?
I kind of recognize them every once in a while.
That's her. That's her. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, kind of what you do, just like who is Allison, what's she like, and all that stuff.
I am a stay-at-home mom who has recently, in the past 2 years, found herself a stay-at-home homeschooling mom who also, in the last 3 years, also had a little one. My oldest is 12 years old, and then I have a 11-year-old and a 3-year-old. Life changed, was going one direction, and everything changed and started going down a different path. A couple of years ago, we had several businesses, one of which was taken out during COVID, and life just got hard. Anger seeped in ways that I didn't know. It went in a direction that I didn't like and that I didn't want to pass on to my family. And so we started working through the process.
Got it. So stay at home, homeschooling mom. Now you did come from what background?
Did graphic design, photography, and various forms of art.
Yes. Yeah, you're very, very artistic. I do know that about you. Very, very artistic. And she also has, how many dogs you got?
Just one now.
Oh, is it still Donut or did she die?
It's still Donut.
Oh God. Donut is a Yorkie that I had, and I got rid of her during my second kid. It was like Skip's dog. I never connected with her, and Allison loved. You liked Yorkies. Didn't you have another one?
We did.
Wow.
However, she decided to take a bite out of Donut, and we had to have her removed from the house.
Got it. I mean, Donut is that dog, if Donut was an 80-pound pit bull, she'd probably have to be euthanized.
Yeah.
Very aggressive. But yeah, so Allison adopted her from me, and she's still kicking. I cannot believe that dog is still alive. But anyway, so that's kind of a backstory. But yeah, her husband owns a business, and if anybody's married to an entrepreneur, business owner, you're a special kind of gal. People that work like a W-2 job, they're a stay-at-home mom because he works with a corporation. It's way different when your husband is an entrepreneur and all that. So, okay, just wanted to put that out there. Okay, got it. So the problem you had before joining Hotmomz and working with me, would you say that, and I know you've shared a little bit in our previous question, was just there was anger, there was chaos, and just crippling anxiety?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
So why do you think you chose to join our program specifically over any other one out there or therapy?
I have watched you, Casey, for a very long time. I have been with you, Casey, for a very long time. I know your story from way back when. And then I had to leave, and I watched you grow. And I watched you grow exponentially over and over and over again. And so one day I looked at Jason and I said, I'm going back to Casey. I didn't tell him, hey, I said, I'm going back to Casey. And he was like, what? He was like, we're not talking about this. I was like, no, we're not talking about this. And he was like, you're going back to Casey. I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, do it. And that's how it happened.
Cool. I like that. That's the first answer like that we've had. And I appreciate that because, like you say, it's real deal. You've watched me grow because a lot of people don't believe the stories, even watching you right now and how you've changed. People wouldn't believe where you came from. They're like, oh, she's just lucky. And you're like, so, okay, got it. So was there anything particular about our program or working with me that really helped you?
I have been working more on the light work side, the personal growth, the end of it. You worked me and told me how to work out. You showed me how to do macros. You showed me how to do that. Not that I'm an expert at it, not that I get it 100% of the time, but I understand it. I didn't understand why I couldn't get that correctly all of the time was because of what had happened either in my past or generations before me.
Ooh, done. Like done. Yes. Okay. And so the personal growth, and you've done therapy, right?
Yes.
How is therapy different from what we do?
Oh, that's tough. Therapy is just talking about it, what you're personally going through at this point in time, not how the past has set you up for your future.
Makes perfect sense. Now, some people are going to say, well, yeah, Allison, but I had a good childhood. Like nothing happened to me.
Nobody had a perfect childhood. I know a lot of people think they did, but sometimes even the smallest of things, whether it happened with your family or something somebody said at school, it haunts you to the very day until you deal with it.
We just went over this about the attachment style, how, sometimes we're just mishandled, sometimes whatever. And that little kid, they don't know anything. So they make stories up to try to understand it. And if something happens that makes them feel like, well, you're dumb or you're not smart, you're not good enough, you're not like the other people, they're going to have that subconscious belief and it haunts them the rest of their life. That's it. So why do you think it's so effective to do the inner work and work, learning about the light work, who you are as a spiritual being and an empath?
I had lost who I was when I was such a young child that I didn't know who I was. And I was what everybody else told me I should be and not at who I was supposed to be.
I think that's going to speak in tongues. That's going to hit a lot of people right there. As a result of implementing the personal growth and the spiritual growth, like understanding who you are on a spiritual soul level, what's been the outcome?
I've been a better wife, a better mom, a better daughter, a better friend. I'm no longer hiding who I am. And if people don't like me, don't care.
How has that changed your life?
Previously, I would have handled anger and stuff very differently. I would have gotten upset with the person, told them that I was upset, been an angry monster, left it alone, and act as if everything was normal the next day.
Did you eat your feelings? Did you sleep a lot, cry a lot? Did you just take it out on everybody? How'd you deal with the resentment?
All of the above, and didn't realize it. Didn't realize that was where it was actually coming from. Got it.
And so now you and your hubby, and it's possible, even though y'all been married and you got kids, have you found yourself better, more connected and almost like more in love?
Yes, we've actually started having conversations that are more loving towards each other, even in the heat of battle. We have a tendency to text our feelings because kids always happen to be around, and sometimes they don't need to see all of that or know all of the ins and outs of certain situations. So taking time out to step back, breathe in, find out where it's coming from, and then approach the situation has helped our marriage in so many ways, and understand where that person is coming from. It also has helped me to go, wait a second, this is your issue, not mine. I know this is not my issue. So you need to go back and figure this out. And
that works?
Sometimes. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes you don't want to hear it.
Yeah. I know. It's like, okay, my trigger is causing you to be triggered, which is causing my trigger to come up. So let's both go separate ways and come back. Yeah.
Correct.
I love that though. I love that you've seen it, this work affect your relationships. I love that. Same with me. And I think that if other people knew that, they would, well, that's my next question. So where do you think you would be right now if you did not take action and say, I'm going to go work with Casey?
We probably would not be married.
Oh, got it. If there's anybody watching and they're on the fence about booking a strategy session and enrolling, what would you say to them?
Oh, this is tough because there's a lot of things, but you want your life to change. Don't hesitate because you have one life to live and one day. And why start tomorrow what you could have done today? My daughter's in musicals, and the number that it's from Rent, it's 525,600 minutes. That song is like played on repeat. That's how many minutes there are. So why waste one more minute?
Love it. And too, I just don't think, I've spent so much money on other programs and I've done therapy and all this stuff. That's what a lot of their things are. They just don't think they can do it. They just believe in them. They think that they're just going to fall off.
Something that you keep saying over and over again is you're right where you need to be at this moment. So take the next step. And what you need to hear is where you need to be. So go forward and do it now.
And I love that. And that's what it takes. It takes a willingness. Like she was very willing to work on herself. And I think that's why you're not worried about going backwards, because you're working on yourself more than you're working on anything else. And when you do that, you can't lose.
Right. I'm doing things that years ago I said I was going to do, and I'm now taking the steps to actually do them. And it's stuff that has empowered me beyond belief, to the point where I tell people, like, I'm actually doing this. And and they're like, they look at me like I'm crazy now.
Yeah. No. And they will. And that's why you got to find people like us that go, hell yeah, of course. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your time. I know it's valuable. So I appreciate you sharing your story and just being here with us.
Thank you.
Welcome.